But I figured I'd have some music on while I talked about all this stuff. It's good to be back.
I mean, otherwise we're gonna get so confused.
Had a nice trip back. It's a good trip. I'm really happy with how everything went down. Besides a few things. A few things could have gone better, but as far as like first time at a GDQ is quite nice. Let's just get into this. So, getting there, Sunday. I left later than I wanted to. Left around 8 a.m. And I was feeling miserable. Had like a really bad cold getting there. And so I in general, I was taking things a bit slower getting there. Got sidetracked in Indiana. I got on the wrong road. So I spent more time in Indiana than I really wanted to. But I got there. That was really the big thing. Even though I was like a snot factory on the way there. It ended up being okay. I got some sleep once I got to the hotel. Though it took me a while to get to sleep. I think it was like just from a head, like I had a bad headache. I was like, I need to take some Advil. Then I got like nauseous. It was just like a bad night in terms of like sleeping and then the drive there. The road conditions were good. It's just that I wasn't feeling that good. So I was a bit nervous, like getting into Monday, because you know I'm going on the next day, right? So naturally, I was a little bit concerned, a little bit like, I hope we get there okay. I hope tomorrow I'm not quite as feeling ill. And I woke up on Monday and I was feeling better. Not 100%, but I was definitely feeling better than on the drive there. And I suspect it was just from getting some sleep. I just slept in and tried to get as much sleep as I could, ate some breakfast, and then head to the hotel. That's because I wasn't at the actual hotel where the event was being held. It was the Overflow Hotel. That's where all the people that didn't get their hotel done in time, like me, ended up being. And apparently people were wondering where I was. Like the staff were like, you should have installed this game way earlier, and I was like, I'm sorry. So I had to like find a pocket to get it installed on the machine at the stage. Carcinogen and Jaguar and I hung out and watched the MGS3 practice and got familiar with the game a little bit. I was just trying to like center myself. I was a bit anxious, a little bit nervous about the whole thing. It's really easy to get nervous about it just from how big the event is online. Even though I knew I was gonna do okay, like, you know, it's really easy, like, for the anxiety and nerves to get to you, especially like in anticipation of it. But once the event started, once my run started, that anxiety kind of just like disappeared, and then you just kind of get into the zone, you know. Just sort of let all that stuff kind of drift by. Now, before the run, there was a little bit of a miscommunication about who was going to be on my couch. Which was it was in part my bad, because I didn't tell Jack who was going to be on my couch, which was a bit of a problem. But, so in the immediate aftermath of that wasn't so good, but then the person and I who got into that dispute, it all kind of got resolved and we made nice. But as far as the run itself goes, you know, there were some mistakes. Definitely, my rappel was a little bit dicey. Liquid was way slower than I would have wanted it to be. And then there was just like movement errors from here to there to here. But as far as commentary went, I had a lot of fun. The gags I wanted to do went really well. It was just a good planning overall for the run. So that was really nice. I was pleased about like the entertainment value of the run. My commentary was good. I thought the commentary of everyone on the couch added to it. No one was like trying to outshine anyone else. I was trying to add something to it, and I really appreciated that. Like, Draco was doing an excellent job adding in some things that I just wasn't, because there's a fair bit to talk about, and I'm trying to be sort of kind of like the the MC of it all, MCing my own run, not necessarily explaining literally everything. It's hard to, because you're trying to give enough time to the run itself, like what's going on at that moment, and then giving time for donations. I definitely wanted to have enough time for donations. And I was actually kind of surprised. There was a few moments where I thought there'd be more donations read, but we ended up just chatting on with the couch, and that was really good. And the things we talked about, I thought were totally well put. Yeah, I am too. Ohio was brutal. And the reaction of the people at the event was really positive. Really positive. I had a bunch of people come up to me and complimented me on my run. And that was just, it was really good feeling. I mean, just to put it simply, to get that kind of positive reaction there. And then apparently people were talking about it on Twitter, which that was one of the things I really learned about. Twitter is huge, absolutely huge with people on Twitch and speedrunning. People love Twitter, which I guess I'm like in the process of setting up a Twitter, but because like people were trying to like include me in their tweets, and they're like, "Does Plywood have a Twitter?" It's like, no. Plywood does not have a Twitter. And then Jaguar's run came right afterwards, and I thought that went really well. LCC did a great job with commentating. Carsey did as well. I think I did okay. But LCC was pretty knowledgeable about the game. Hey, Rodrigo. Thank you. Welcome back to the house, right? It's been a few days. Now, of course, the end fight didn't go so well for Jag, but, right afterwards, we had that donation from, Jag's wife, and that was just, that was like, I was told him afterwards, I'm like, that was like the perfect punchline to that bad end fight. And even so, like, you know, the end didn't go so well, and he lost Foxhound really early on, but he had some really good fights in that run. The Fury went really well, the Pain went really well. It was like the things that you wouldn't have expected to go wrong, like the Fear and the End. Those things went off. Hey, Gorilla. I'll just post it. Basti, break the beat. Good thing you asked me, because I think it's gonna change song. Yeah, you asked me just in time. Hey, Ven. The Jaguar face, right? Yeah, people, you know, that was the thing about that run. It kind of, you know, it's a good storytelling run in terms of like speed. You know, I try to say this a lot. Like, speedrunning is a story. Every run's a story. Hey, Bobo. Thanks, man. I was really happy with it. Really happy with how it went. Hey, Japamber. Hey, Daily. Yeah, me too. Thanks, man. I'm so happy with how it went, because, you know, more than anything else, I wanted to do right for everyone who helped me get there and to put on a good show, and I think that's what happened. So it's really meaningful when people have a positive reaction to it. And really, I saw a handful of negative reactions on Twitter and all that, and it's like, that was to be expected. Honestly, the reaction overall was a lot more positive than my Harvey run. A lot more positive than the Harvey run. Harvey was positive, but I think a little bit more muted just because it was the online marathon. But, GDQ, man. I'm glad people enjoyed it. I'm really glad people enjoyed it. Now, if for everyone who might be coming from GDQ, welcome. Had a huge follower boost after GDQ, and it's very humbling and flattering to have people be interested in my content. So thank you. But yeah, so yeah, I thought MGS3 went really well. That woman who sung, she was absolutely fantastic. If you didn't catch the end of the MGS3 run, go check that out, because they had a woman sing. I forget her name. It started with an S, but oh my god! You thought, if you were listening on the stream, you thought that sounded good. Try being like freaking 5 feet away from her. I was blown away. It was such a fantastic way to end that run. And that was my first time couching, and it was a little bit weird, like, getting my paces, especially since I've never run MGS3. You know, the nerves were a little bit high right after the run, and like going straight into commentary mode was a little bit like, all right, let's try to get our bearings, you know. Thank you, Twitch. Shoutouts to Twitch. Not like Twitch.tv, but Zibble, Twitch Zibble. Long-time viewer. Yeah, her singing was super hype. Singing was really good. So yeah, Metal Gear Block went really well. We've had a bunch of people join the Metal Gear Discord, most of which are not trolls, so that's cool. I'm really looking forward to, you know, like, I don't consider myself just a Metal Gear runner. I mean, I didn't start running Metal Gear until months after I began with Silent Hill. And you know, it's kind of interesting having that sort of dual community role, right? Thanks for that host, Raichu. Yeah, there were so many donations. I had a few people who were like, man, I donated and they didn't read it. I'm like, I'm sorry. I have no control over this. No control over it. Besides being like, hey, read some donations, right? But, well, the people that I recognized from the donations were Tyler and Turbo. It was Tyler and Turbo. Those were the names I recognized. If anyone else got their name read on stream, let me know. But those were the two names I recognized. It was cool to hear Turbo and Tyler. But I know Palmer donated. Now I know Bobo donated. And you guys are fantastic. We raised so much money with that donation incentive for the ending. $12,000. Over $12,000, guys. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. What else is there to say about that? Yeah, we will, oh shit, yeah, Raichu. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry. This is why I asked, because my memory's a bit hazy. I didn't, like, put all my memory to... Because now I remember, because, we said, it was, was it when we were hitting the cards, or when I was climbing the tower? I can't remember. But yeah, so Raichu was also red. That was great. Yeah, we'll get to Silent Hill very shortly. But yeah, Monday was great. I went to bed and I slept like a baby. It was like, this was freaking awesome. So Tuesday I wake up, I'm like, hell yeah, I feel good. Because, you know, when I woke up on Monday, I'm like, am I gonna go to bed? Am I gonna go to bed and be like, aw shit? Or am I gonna be like, aw shit? You know? And it was the good kind of shit, right? Hey Maurice, just doing some recapping of my first GDQ ever. So Tuesday was an exciting day because that was the horror block. I was really excited for horror block. We were have an opportunity to hang out with all the horror people, which I did a little bit on Monday, but I was so beat. I was hanging out with Maxie and Bach, and I was just like, man, I need to go to sleep. Exactly. Aw, shit. That was good. It's a Tuesday. I'm trying to recall. I don't recall, like, the early afternoon, but getting everything set up for the horror block. All the horror people were like hanging out in the practice room. It was like we had Techie, had Punchy. Actually, I don't think Punchy was in that circle. It was Techie, Bach, Maxie, Enigma. I don't remember if Wuss was like in that that discussion circle, but it was just so cool having everyone there in the horror community. And before the horror block, Punchy and I went out to eat at Mellow Mushroom, which I knew about Mellow Mushroom. I didn't realize they had restaurants up in Virginia. I knew they had restaurants in the South. I had a calzone. He had a meat lover's pizza for himself. And it was just like a fun cultural exchange. And Punchy, infamous for talking a mile a minute, and that's even true at dinner. Hey, Sentinel fan. Did I experience any cringe? I experienced a little bit of drama, which makes me cringe, but not like a cringe-worthy moment kind of thing. So, not really. There was like a couple of awkward moments, like Punchy and I kind of ran into each other, not literally, almost literally. And he didn't realize it was me. I was like, hi, and he didn't realize it was me. I mean, it was like early in the morning, so I was just like, oh, whatever. That was kind of funny. Yeah, there was some drama. We'll get into that a little bit. We'll go into the drama a little bit, but which we'll get into on Tuesday and Wednesday. A lot of it happened on these 2 days. So me and Punchy went out to eat. He was amazed that I could eat the whole calzone. I was like, dude, I'm still hungry. I could eat some of your pizza if I wasn't a vegetarian. I would be like, man, I can eat some more. And he's just like staring there like, like, how could you eat all that? To be fair, I have 50 pounds on Punchy or whatever. And Punchy's a pretty small dude. But man, he loves to drink Coke. They just kept on coming back with more big glasses of Coke, and he's like, yeah, I'll have some more. Man, I was like, damn, dude, you're gonna be set for the run at 2 in the morning or whatever. So people are practicing for the horror block. All the horror peeps are hanging out. We're just sort of chilling before RE7, and I was on the backup couch for RE7, which is kind of like one of the big breakout runs of the event for sure. And I had a hell of a time hanging out with Starwin, who's another Silent Hill runner, Metal Gear Solid runner. We were hanging out on the backup couch, which is like the couch behind the other couch. They're actually the same couch. It's just that the couch up front has the red cover over it. The backup couch has no cover. When do they post the videos to YouTube? Well, you can actually find videos on YouTube already, but they're not from the GDQ itself, so they might be taken down. But you can find them it's like a bootleg channel. But I don't know how long those are gonna last. I'm assuming that GDQ is probably gonna file some copyright notice once the event is over. But yeah, Punchy he can drink some So yeah, the RE7 was a fantastic run, really entertaining. It was like the couch did an excellent job commentating for it. Carsey did a great job with audience involvement and kept the viewers on their seats, and that was just, it's crazy because like I ran RE7 and I really don't like watching runs of it because I find the game in general kind of boring, just because I ran it. So I don't really like going on my way to watch it, even though a lot of people run it. It's more like I'd rather run the game than watch it. But Carsey did an excellent job. And I mean, New Game Madhouse is not really a well-run category, so it was just interesting to me, like, oh, what are the strats here? This is quite different. There's Biggie. Yeah, I ran a Metal Gear Solid 1. That was on Monday. Drinking soda, drinking pop, drinking carbonated beverages, soft drinks. I don't tend to drink a lot of soda. I drank a rum and coke at the event. That was the one drink I had the whole time, was a rum and coke, because I wasn't feeling that great. I was suffering from a cold, so I wasn't gonna drink alcohol. I didn't think that was gonna help my system. But yeah, RE7 was really entertaining. It was cool, like, explaining the run to Starwin, getting a nice photo with Starwin, taking selfies with people. People I missed taking a selfie with was, like, Techie, Bach, Maxi. Got a selfie with Jag, a selfie with Starwin, Punchy, Carsey. Enigma? Yeah, I didn't get to talk to Enigma that much. I kind of briefly met him and said hi. He was there with his wife. Like he kind of came in. He and his wife came into the horror circle, the horror bros. I don't know what you'd say. Man, his hair is magnificent though. Maxi's is long and Jesus-like, but so is Enigma's. It was quite something seeing them like near each other. Oh, and famous Cheeky with the $5 sub. I'm okay. I sleep all night. I whack all day. Dude. Famous Cheeky. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the Lumberjacks. Thank you for supporting your local, homegrown, 100% organic wooden streamers. Enjoy the sub emote and the star. Thank you. Yeah, that emote is pretty awesome, Silent Hill fan. So RE7 went really well. There were games beforehand in the horror block, but I didn't really watch them. I wasn't really engaged, so. There, saw you speedrunning MGS at AGDQ. That's one of my favorite games. I've never seen it speedrun before. Blew my mind, so thanks for that. Thank you for watching and enjoying it. Yeah, MGS1, it's really, I can talk about this right now. MGS1 has grown a lot since I started running it, and I'm not, that might sound a little bit like egotistical, but it's actually true. When I started running the game, there really were not a lot of people running the game. It was pretty small. There's only like one or two other people actively running the game at that point. I ran PC, routed PC with Thrill, then went to console, started running console as well, and my console run changed the boards a bit. People started running easy all bosses, and then summer and fall had a lot of new people come in, a lot of people were interested in the game, and it's been really growing. It's been kind of like one of those games that have been a sleeper run for a long time, and that doesn't make sense. It's like one of the biggest games of all time. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, Mario 64, all these very classic 90s games, Super Metroid, all this stuff. have a lot of attachment rate with speedrunning. Metal Gear Solid? No. Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot. These are like nostalgia-ridden games. MGS has never been that big. It's had people running it, but it's never really been like up there. And there's reasons why, like in terms of the run itself, but in the last year, 2017 was a huge year for Metal Gear Solid 1. Absolutely huge. And that's thanks to me in part, but it's also thanks to everyone else who really wanted to put the effort into the game. Yeah, there's so much, and even though it looks like I know a lot, it's pretty amazing. I've been playing the game for so long. Recently, yeah, within the last year, but even before, and there's still stuff you learn mechanically about the game. It's very surprising, even though it's kind of a basic in its gameplay in certain regards. There's a lot of weird little stuff about it. Yeah, Nintendo has taken the spotlight, and you go into the practice room, that's something, I saw when I was in the practice room. There's TVs and all kinds of people in there, tables with all kinds of cool CRTs, and you'll just see a literal row of people playing Ocarina of Time or Mega Man or like Mario, whatever like freaking like Odyssey. A lot, like just TV after TV after TV. It's insane. It's crazy. And I was thinking about this when I was getting food. Like, speedrunning is so like heavy on certain games, right? And it was so represented in that practice room as well. I mean, people were playing all kinds of stuff, but you always saw some Zelda, you always saw some Mario, always saw some like Mega Man or whatever. And it's like, man, kind of like the odd one out. I didn't feel like people were gonna shun me or anything, right? But you could totally see that, like, hey, this is not as big of a game, right? It was very well represented there in terms of like the distribution of who's playing what. Thank you. Yeah, I gave it my shot. I was more aiming for the entertainment more than kicking the run's butt. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know how much a splitter is. I have no idea how much a splitter is, but yeah, that'd have to be part of it as well. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like $300. It's crazy, man. But yeah, then RE3 happened, and that was where the big drama was. There's a big miscommunication about the couch for that run. I wasn't directly involved in the drama, so I'll be upfront with that. I was kind of, the way I put it, I was kind of like a planet orbiting the drama, since, I'm part of the horror community, but I wasn't directly involved in what was going on. But to put it really succinctly, there's only 4 mics and there were 5 people, and Eternal Enigma did not get a chance to really talk at all. Big John and Carsey talked through most of that run. There were no donations read. I thought the race was really entertaining and engaging. It was a fun race to watch, but afterwards there was a bit of a fallout because of lack of mic for Enigma and lack of sharing. And I don't know. I was talking to people and listened to their complaints and what was going on behind the scenes. And I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. I don't think it's really appropriate. Oh, we'll get to Silent Hill, because that's after RE3. But I wanted to talk about this. This drama shit. I'm not one to, I'm not going to throw any shit. Everyone who was involved in this drama, I respect. They've done nothing to wrong me. I think there are several people at fault. Like, pretty much everyone who was involved there had probably some amount of fault for it, but just like bad communication. And I put couch and things I learned about and Twitch personalities, and this was a big thing. When you put a lot of people were partnered, everyone on that stage for RE3 was partnered. All of them have brands, all of them have personalities. As far as I know, all of them get their money pretty much solely through streaming. And they didn't communicate clearly about what was going to go on beforehand. How was Enigma going to share the mic with Carsey? Should John have even been on the couch? How are you going to make sure there's a balanced commentary when you have all those cooks in the kitchen, right? That didn't happen, and people's feelings got hurt. People got in each other's faces. No one got physically violent, but people started talking in ways that like just aren't adult. It's not respectful. It's not professional. Now again, I wasn't directly involved in it, but I had some interaction with it. And the thing for me that was disappointing is like the horror community has been super supportive of me. I've seen a lot of people in the horror speedrunning community be very supportive of each other. You know, it's a kind of a niche community. It was just really sad to see the communication fall apart and people get into each other's faces. Thank you, Sniper. Yeah, you couldn't even see Enigma, right? He was on the couch, but you couldn't see him. It was just a bad situation. There's several people at fault. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think the drama will just kind of fade away after several days. But it's just sad, like, that had to happen. I hope people, including myself, learned a valuable lesson in terms of communication for the future, because, you know, people get hurt. People will get straight up hurt if they're not allowed to have their moment. And apparently, Enigma came up for that run, to commentate for that run. He didn't get a chance to talk. And that's not, and also, like, Wuss, if you watch that run, that's Wuss's first run at a GDQ. It's his first GDQs in a similar situation as I was. And he barely got to talk. I can see how that could be frustrating. No donations got read. Like, things could have gone a bit better. Right? And you live, you learn. I just hope that, like, the people involved in that situation, you know, make up, make face. You don't have to be friends with each other. They can, you know, treat each other with respect. See each other as, you know, fellow professionals in the streaming gig and the entertainment business. People with big personalities, man, can cause conflict. Thanks, Bomba Guy. I appreciate that. I really do. It sounds like I keep on saying that, but it's really true. I really do. People have been really positive about it. So, after the RE3 kerfuffle, fortunately, people were not in good spirits. We didn't get that group horror runners photo that we were going to get. It was sad. And then Silent Hill happened. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Silent Hill run, that was the other run I commentated for besides Metal Gear Solid 3. Man, that was a lot of fun. It was a great, you know, even though it was like really, really late, it was like 2 in the morning. Punchy didn't, you know, like Punchy was punchy. He talked a lot, but, you know, all of us on the couch had a chance to talk. It was really cool commentating with Maxie and Techie. And it was just a straight up good run. The only really bad thing about it was Twin Feeler. He had a 3-cycle. I think he sweared after he got the 3-cycle, but man, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun commentating for that game. It really felt like a sort of like a coming home in terms of, like, I started running with that game and now I'm, you know, you're at GDQ and you're commentating a run for it. The second time it's been at GDQ since Techie's run, which is one of the runs that got me into speedrunning in the first place. It was just really fun. I recommend, if anyone hasn't taken a look at it, check it out. It was just a really fun commentary, enjoyable to watch and be a part of. Some pretty good jokes, of course, some good yokes, some good laughs and guffaws. So yeah, that was great, and Punchy was happy with it. I was happy with it. Maxie and Techie were happy with it. We were like, damn, dude, it's not all solid. I hope that run means some people will be interested in running the game. It'd be really cool to see some new faces in the Silent Hill speedrunning community as well. Besides Metal Gear Silent Hill as well. So yeah, that was Tuesday. The horror block and that drama. And people complained to me that, you need a Twitter, you need a Twitter. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's like, apparently people rely on the communication Twitter really heavy at GDQ. I know, right? The commentary, because Punchy's talking so fast, I gotta talk fast. It kind of like balanced itself out. I'm like, dang, I gotta keep up. I gotta find my spots to add to commentary. And afterwards, Punch was like, yeah, you did a really good job. He was like, I was a bit nervous, a little bit concerned, because I didn't really know what you were like with marathon commentary. He watched my run, he was like, this was really good. Gave me a hug after interviews. You ever get a hug from a British person, it's like, damn, you know, British people are known to be kind of cold, a little bit distant. He freaking gives me a hug. I was like, damn, dude. And then after the Silent Hill run, he was like, you did a great job commentating and adding things. I was like, thanks, man. I'm glad I had the opportunity to. I really did. Because, like, Silent Hill 1, it's one of my babies, dude. And that game is still really fun to run for me. A lot of fun. Yeah, it didn't, you know, unless you were looking really closely on stream, it probably wouldn't have been super obvious, but yeah. There was a lot of stuff on the back end. I'm glad it's over. I hope everyone involved in it, you know, kisses and makes up. Maybe not literally, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think any of those people are gonna kiss and do makeup, but hopefully mend the fences. No need to burn bridges. Come over to Ireland, you're even more. But like, isn't that something like freaking getting hugged by someone from the British Isles? Like, damn, dude. Oh yeah, by the way, Punchy is actually like just insane at arcade games. I watched him play fucking one of the music games. As much shit as we give Konami on this channel sometimes, man, they got some awesome import arcade games from Konami that were music games. And just, here's Punchy. Frickin', I don't know how well this is gonna show up on the camera. But this is him playing, there we go. That shows up decently well. This is a music game from Konami where you have to tap. There's like several, it's like a 4x4 grid. You have to tap to the rhythm of the music. And this is like level 9. Punchy's just fucking killing it. Look at that shit, man. Look at that. Every time those boxes flash, he has to tap it to the rhythm of the music. And I was like playing at like level 5, level 6. This guy's playing at level 9. I'm like, holy crap. Punchy like did a number on all the on most of the arcade machines in the arcade room. Holy crap, man. Jubeat. Jubeat. That was the best rhythm game there by far. It didn't have all the weird. There was like a game that had like touch gimmicks, and then one that was sort of like had like knobs and buttons, and then the other one that I was terrible at, which is like not Ichibachi. That was like the mini game compilation. But there was another one. There's like 7 big buttons. I was terrible at it. Absolutely terrible at it. But the Q-Beat, the Jubeat one, ooh, that was fun. Alright, see you, Tyler. Hey, Gerald. So Wednesday, I was done with commentating. All that was left was just kind of hanging out at the event for a little bit. And so, practice room. I learned Snake's Revenge from Jaguar. watched him do a run. And he explained the game, which was exciting, and did some explaining myself of Metal Gear Ghost Babel to Jag, and showed Jaguar and Starwin some stuff with Twin Snakes, and Jag saying he's gonna, this year he's gonna go to Twin Snakes, which is awesome. Showed him some of the new strats. Starwin was like, damn, man, I was doing so much wrong, there's so much new. So it was really cool showing Twin Snakes, doing some learning myself and teaching some other people. We actually had someone, and they joined the Discord, who was just at the event and was like, hey, I really enjoyed your run. And I was like mentioning Twin Snakes, and I was like, man, I love that game. I might run it. I'm like, cool, dude. Join the Discord. Hey, Copper. Hey, man. Yeah, it's good to be safe. A nice return trip that I didn't get hurt. Oh, I didn't even mention this. So I put GDQ backend. It was a little, it's weird seeing like how the process is all set up, and I was trying to be like respectful and not like, because I just didn't know how everything was working in terms of like setup and who to talk to and all that. So it's kind of it's just strange, it's strange to get used to. So it was good to like experience that and sort of interact with the tech crew and see how it all worked. Thanks, man. It really means a lot to me, because I wanted to make you and everyone else proud. So yeah, Wednesday was a pretty chill day. Jaguar and I went out to dinner. It was pretty nice. We went to some Pakistani Indian place. They had pretty decent food. It wasn't like the greatest Pakistani Indian food I've had, but it was alright. Then we were just chatting about Metal Gear and GDQ and the drama a little bit. Had a good time with him. Jaguar is pretty cool to hang out with. He was very welcoming to me. Really, like, all the people I interacted with were very welcoming to me. Which is very nice. People are very nice, and you can't really ask for more when you're kind of like new to the whole experience. Thanks, Copper. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm glad to do people proud. Really am. Yeah, I learned Spake's Revenge a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna learn that game. I mean, I have the cart. I still gotta clean out the NES. Either clean the cart or clean out the pins, because I get the red flashing light. So who knows when or if that'll happen. So yeah, Wednesday wasn't too crazy of a day. It was pretty chill, just playing games, hanging out, visiting with some people that I didn't know were at the event. Because it was just, there are a lot of streamers, a lot of speedrunners. I know this seems kind of obvious, but a lot of people were at the event, and you don't know who you're going to run into, seriously. Ran to, like, Kane Apache, who ran a game called IQ, which I also did a run of, and said, hey man, how you doing? It's good to see you. Because I don't think he knew what I looked like, but I knew what he looked like. And a bunch of other cool people as well. But we met in the casual room. That room is stanky hot. I could not cope it. This is like you had to like go up a staircase, and there's all these frickin' all the TVs and people doing like DDR, and it was just like a swamp in there. I hated it. I saw Caleb. I didn't introduce myself to him. He seemed like a pretty relaxed dude. But yeah, you see a lot of big speedrunners there. Some of them I introduced myself to. I introduced myself to Mexican Runner, because he was like hanging out doing some Battletoads practice. But no, what was really nice was on Wednesday I actually hung out with the Super Mario 3D World, the Wii U one. He was running that game. he had like one person sitting with him. I was like, oh, he's running this game. I played it casually with my girlfriend a few months ago. I was like, I'm gonna check this out and see what's up. He was a really cool guy. Answered my questions. Wished him luck on the run. Got to see a lot of the neat tricks in that game. And he's like, I was like, so how many people actively run this game? He's like, me and one other guy. I'm like, damn, dude. Mario Odyssey and all the other Mario games, like, that's the thing, like, if I'm gonna run a Mario game, I'm probably gonna run one of the more less run ones. And even in the Mario community, we have games that are, like, more attractive and less attractive. As I, like, caught a little bit of his run, and no lie, someone on the couch is, like, makes a quib at the game, like, yeah, this is, like, kind of an average game, or something like that. I'm like, damn, dude. Someone said that during the Sunshine Run or whatever, dude would get fucking thrown off the stage, right? But since it's a not as run Mario game, I guess that sort of shit can fly as a joke, and it's like, damn, it sucked. Yeah, it was like, I didn't really, I actually kind of regret that. I could have gone up to him and been like, hey man, I run Twin Snakes. I honestly kind of missed an opportunity. That was my bad. I really did. I should have approached him. But like, he is kind of a big guy. So I wouldn't call him intimidating. It's just like, people are hanging out with people. It's, when people, going and introducing yourself to a bunch of like really big streamers that are all hanging out with each other is a bit intimidating, right? Like, I'm kind of a relative nobody. I can be like, yeah, I'm running Metal Gear Solid, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like the most socially well-adjusted person. There's a lot of not socially well-adjusted people there, like people with social anxiety and introverts and all kinds of nerdy weirdos, right? I should have said hello to Caleb. I had opportunities too, and I didn't do it. There's a few people I was just like, I don't want to get in their business. I can appreciate what they do from afar. Yeah, I can see that, Copper. Here's the thing. If I go to SGDQ, I see Caleb, I'm gonna go up and say hi to him. I don't watch him actively, but I mean, I can at least be like, hey man, it's nice to meet you. I run Twin Snakes. It's cool that you ran the game before everyone else, and he ran Twin Snakes at GDQ. I'm really hoping Twin Snakes gets in at SGDQ or the next AGDQ. It'd be really cool. Twin Snakes really deserves some time to shine. So yeah, that's Wednesday. Thursday was like pretty much my last real day at GDQ. I checked out of my hotel, and that night I crashed in Carsey and Wuss's room, which was very gracious of them to let me sleep in their room. Yo, let's get some curry! Eat that curry up, dude. I want to eat some curry, man. Gotta get that good curry, none of that fake shit. Yeah, Thursday, Jaguar King and I went to Starland, which is this retro game store in not too far from the event in Herndon, Virginia. And damn, dude, they had a gigantic selection. Like, we're talking piles and piles of games. And some imports too, and yeah, I did spend a little bit of money. It was like $80. I'm gonna full disclosure, I spent some money. I picked up some games. And so let's do some show and tell, huh? Do some show and tell. But honestly, for $80 I actually got quite a bit, and I know which ones like probably costed the most. Here we got our little bag here. So imports wise, I got some PlayStation imports. I actually could have picked up some other ones, but I was like, no, I don't need that. Right. So we got Biohazard 2 on PlayStation, mirrored of course. They do their own shrink wrapping. This isn't actually like sealed. Yeah, Biohazard 2 on PlayStation. I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna run this game, if I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna run PC and I can't get the whole JP thing working with the Wii, I can do this. Biohazard 2. Do have a copy in English. We got the Bouncer, the Japanese Bouncer, which did come out in the year 2000, unlike the 2001 releases in PAL and the US. And from what I can tell, it's pretty much the same game. Same options, because you can pick Japanese and English and all that on the US Bouncer, but pick this up. Actually, really cool marble disc. Look at that marble disc and the B kind of like embossed there. It's pretty neat. So yeah, Japanese Bouncer, everyone. I found that, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. It's not very expensive, no. We got Bushido Blade 2. I really wanted Bushido Blade 1, but I've wanted to play one of the Bushido Blades for a while. And Bushido Blade 2, you can play this in Japanese and not really worry about it. So I picked this up. From what I hear, Bushido Blade 1's a bit better than the second one, but they're both Bushido Blade. And I was happy to pick this up, check it out, see how it was. This game, I don't really own the Wii U, but Tokyo Mirage Session. Tokyo Mirage, this fucking name is so complicated. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, or hashtag FE, whatever you want to say. And this is a Wii U exclusive JRPG that takes place like in sort of the J-pop realm, and it's a cross between Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. And I really wanted to check this game out and play it. And the HD capture card. Whenever I get that HD capture card, this is on the list. Stuff to do on stream. $40.50 in Germany, damn. So these last two games in the pile, you might be like, why the hell do you pick these up? We actually still have the Congo drums. So I picked up Donkey Konga 2 and Donkey Kong Jungle Beat for GameCube. Only for Nintendo GameCube, yep. I remember playing these games back in the day. I remember this game being really good, and I figured I'd at least pick up one of the Donkey Konga games. I don't know which Donkey Konga game is really better. I know this one has a lot of like licensed music, but this is the one that really I'm interested in checking out, dude. And obviously, like, these weren't gonna be expensive. Like, you have to have the conga drums for it to even work. However, we got those conga drums, man. We got those conga drums. And that's why I picked up. 80 bucks. Pretty good, honestly. 3 imports I can use my Japanese PS2 for. So yeah, expect the Bouncer sometime on stream. Probably will do a run of it. This I probably won't play until, like, if I want to run the game. But it is cool to have a copy of this game in Japanese, obviously. But Bushido Blade, man, I just want to play some Bushido Blade with people. Check it out, because I've always been interested in it. So yeah, that's what I picked up at East Starland. Man, I could have picked up some more stuff, but man, I didn't want to like sit there and fucking fish through all those games. There's so many of them. Whew. Well, yeah. So that's what I picked up at the retro store. And then before that, before we left, I actually went and learned Strider from NME. Yes, NME, the very own NME, who actually has done a Metal Gear Solid run, and I saw him hanging out playing Strider. I'm like, I know I'm gonna go over and say hi to the big guy himself, NME, and he was a real chill dude. It was nice to hang out with him. He told me he watched the tutorial, which I want to update this year. I was like, dude, it's awesome to visit with you, and he taught me Strider. Thanks, Sand Guy, I appreciate it. And Strider is really fun. I actually am interested in running that game. on hardware, of course, but that would require me to fix my NES. But yeah, it's freaking 5 minutes long, and you go out of bounds and fight like, what, 3 bosses? Only one of them is really hard. Phase through some walls, jump over some dudes, break the game a bit. What's not to love? I'm like, this game is fun. It's a nice, fast run. You don't run PC, but you should. Yeah, Copper isn't really interested in PC, and that's fine, dude. I actually think it'd be better for more people to be interested in console, because I think there's always going to be people interested in running PC because of how fast it is, you know? The more console runners we have, I think the more diverse the community will get from that. But that's just sort of my perspective right now. So yeah, Thursday, learning Strider from Enemy was really cool. Shoutouts to Enemy. Always cool to meet people who've run MGS1. And then when we got back from East Starland, I did a fun Twin Snakes run because I was a bit bored. Did a run on easy. It was enjoyable to do. Not kind of. I really haven't set it up fully yet, so it's a work in progress. Give me some time. But it seems like I probably should have a Twitter. So we got back. I did a Twin Snakes run for fun. And went and learned the MG2 run from Jag. Watched him do a Big Boss, or like Big Boss style MG2. Which, you know, it seemed pretty straightforward. Nothing too difficult. A bit easier than Snake's Revenge. It's just that a good chunk of the game is kind of boring. But there are I saw some parts I was like, this is actually kind of cool looking. You know, certain floors in the game. The boss strategies are pretty hilarious. Definitely not the kind of run I would get really into, but I could see myself doing a run for a little bit of. Twitter's for nerds. I know, right? Got all the nerds at AGDQ being like, you don't have a Twitter? Yo, everyone's talking about you on Twitter. Why we can't add you? Yeah, and then afterwards, after MG2, I showed. I did a tutorial run for Jag of Silent Hill 1, and then did a for realsies run of Silent Hill 1. Got a mid 33 or something. It was a 33:28. It was fun just doing a run, seeing how PS3 was. You really seem to enjoy the run and seeing how it worked. Now after that, I'm leaving out a little bit of stuff, hanging out with Draco, hanging out with Glenn a little bit. Seeing Anthony Caliber, shoutouts to Anthony Caliber, the Last of Us runner. I really hope T-Lau can get into a GDQ. He was at the event. It was nice chatting with him, saying hi. I know he has some degree of interest in running something like MGS3. But yeah, it was really fun. And then, oh yeah, me and Starwin played House of the Dead EX, which is a mini game compilation thingy. It's okay. I'd rather just play regular House of the Dead. As far as mini game compilations go, it's just kind of meh. Not a super well balanced game. There's some interesting aspects to it, like the co-op had this element where you either need to play equally well, or one person needs to play well enough to meet the hand. There's a bar of how well you're doing, and both hands need to come together for you to succeed in the level, which is kind of cool. But in general, it's just kind of meh. It was kind of funny, but the games were just kind of meh. Bishibashi though, big fat buttons. You mash the buttons and do all kinds of crazy little mini games, a little bit like WarioWare. That was cool. I think opening menu in docks doesn't slow elevator. Are you saying like pausing delays the timer? I don't understand. Any awkward or unusual experiences? The biggest one was the drama. That was awkward. Telling the odd person out on my couch to do rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the mic. That was a bit awkward. Everything for me was nothing too crazy. I think part of it as well, since I was not at that hotel, like I wasn't staying at the hotel, you're a bit kind of like separated from the event in a way, because like you go back to the overflow hotel. But no, nothing too crazy. Everything kind of worthwhile mentioning I've already talked about. Just watch the VOD. I don't want to get into it again. Yeah, pretty much, Bomba Guy. Oh, it doesn't slow it down. Okay, interesting. Yeah, shoutouts to Carsey and Wuss for letting me sleep in their room for Thursday. I need to crash because my my hotel. Oh, this is another thing I learned. Really need to have to share the cost with someone for a room, because holy fuck, if I shared a room with someone, I could have stayed like the whole time and, you know, not have had to have the donation goal be as much as it was for just purely the hotel. That money could have just gone for the food and gas and all that, because the gas I pretty much paid for myself. But the extra money was really only good for a handful of meals, and that's like, it was all me. So yeah, next time, definitely want to share a hotel room. Then Friday morning, RC and I, we went and got some breakfast before I left, hung out, visited. It was cool shooting the shit with him. We shot the shit quite a bit during the event. It was really nice to hang out with Carsey. He's a very welcoming guy to me. Very gracious, and I appreciated that. Yeah, it was because we both had colds, Beasel. We both had freaking colds. And he had the worst end of the cold than I did. It sucked. We were both like Johnny, man, having the sneeze attacks. I didn't sneeze during my run, but Jag was not feeling great. None of us were feeling awesome. Nah, no one was shitty to me. I was not involved in the drama. I was like on the outer orbit of the drama, kind of observing it. So, nah, I was really none worse for the wear. The only conflict that I had, we kissed and made up, and we apologized, and, you know, sort of talked about it, and we squared it off, so. But yeah, Friday, went out to breakfast with Carsey, took a selfie, hung out, chatted about life and everything. Then I packed up and went home. And I felt great yesterday. I was like, my cold was pretty much gone. Problem was, once I got to Pennsylvania, so just to explain my path, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. That was like my travel path. About 10.5 hours straight, over 600 miles. It was cool, you know, going out in the daylight, because when I got to GDQ, it was dark. So I got to see areas I was driving through in the middle of the day, and man, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, they're all very beautiful. Big hills, huge trees, driving across the Potomac River, not literally on the Potomac River or bridge. I could see how people would love to hike on the East Coast. There's some really beautiful spots, national parks and all that. But once I got to like the middle of Virginia, it got really foggy, and then it started pouring rain. And then I got to Ohio, and it started hailing.
Oh, I see. So as soon as it stops raining, you'll leave.
Speaking of rain. So I got to Ohio, it starts hailing. Then I continue driving through Ohio, and it starts snowing up a storm. A literal snowstorm. And about middle of Ohio, it was really bad once I got past Cleveland. So much so that we got to a point, or me, there was no one in the car with me, it was just me. I got to the point where on the interstate, it was completely backed up. There was an accident where a semi was literally blocking 90% of the road, like 80, 90% of the road, like horizontally. We're talking a highway here with multiple lanes. He blocked it. There was only one part of the whole road that was accessible. It was right next to the barrier in the middle of the highway. So there was a freaking caravan, a straight line of trucks and cars, including me, funneling through this tiny opening because this truck, something happened. It swerved off the road, it slid because of all the snow, and it just blocked most of the road. It was crazy. It was really bad conditions. The only runs he caught. Great job, awesome commentary. Thank you, Wuda. It's an honor to hear that you liked it that much and it was one of the only runs you caught. That's really nice. Welcome. Yeah, like, that was crazy, driving through that snowstorm. You know, when I drove to GDQ, I felt like shit, but the road conditions were great. When I was driving back, I felt great, but the road conditions were shit. Once I got to Western Ohio, the snow started clearing up, and then it was just really just like a marathon to get home. Driving through Indiana, you know, trying to get home before like 2 in the morning. I got home at around 1 in the morning. Yeah, 1 in the morning today. Got home, slept like a baby, man. Slept for several hours, just relaxed, and here we are. That's the AGDQ recap, everyone. We got through it 1 hour later. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my trip. On the whole, it was really cool visiting with people, hanging out, learning some games, teaching some games. It'd be cool to see more Metal Gear, more of MGSR at future events, obviously. It was great hanging out with LCC, Glenn, Draco, Jag, Bach, Maxi, Techie, Carsey, everyone else that I visited and saw shortly. It's awesome, dude. Awesome games. Done quick. Some cool people. People are very welcoming. And even though the whole situation's a bit cliquey, you know, because everyone like the Mega Man people and the Zelda people and the Mario people and then the horror people. People are, in general, very nice there. There are some creepers there. There are some kind of really socially awkward people. Like, extremely awkward. I didn't really experience that too much firsthand. But, you can kind of just read it from some people that they're a little bit, socially immature. And that's coming from someone who has a little bit of that myself. Like, I'm not so comfortable, you know, meeting new people and, you know, introducing myself and all that, but, you know, I'm definitely better than some people. I can say that much. Do the people smell? I didn't smell too much, but, you know, I don't get close enough to people to really give them a good sniff, so. But, you know, the really smelly, like, the hot and smelly rooms I avoided most of the time. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Copper. Even though I have the introverted personality, I keep to myself, in general. As far as entertainment goes, and putting on a show, I love doing that. It's a weird thing. Like, you wouldn't think someone who's introverted would be into that, but I love putting on a show. I've done theater, I've done comedy, improv, stand up, and streaming is just kind of like an extension of that to me. And so I've just fed off that energy, man. I fed off the energy of that huge crowd, because I performed again in front of large audiences, not 100,000 people large, right? But large audiences. And it's just, once it starts, it goes. You get into the zone. And I prepared, I knew roughly what was going to go down in terms of my commentary. I prepared for that. And I think it went superb as far as the commentary entertainment side of things. Yeah. People have been really kind and gracious in terms of complimenting the run, and just to reiterate the thing in my my pace bin, thank you, straight up. Hey Squeak, yeah, I've done stand up, going for the PSTV. Yeah, it might cost a little bit more because I need the HDMI splitter as well. Like, I would need the HDMI splitter. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Everyone who's came in from GDQ, all the people who were here before GDQ, all the people that helped me get to GDQ, all the people who have watched, all the people who supported, critiqued.
Now why did I do that? Because I refused to
It's,
fool with you last night?
it seems really trite and cliche, but it's true. I couldn't have done it without you. This channel would not be what it is without you. Sure, I make the content, but if people aren't there to experience it, consume it, and, reflect back how they feel about it, it wouldn't exist. It really wouldn't have existed. I would've just said, fuck it, I'm gonna play games for myself on my own and not talk to people while doing it. So, yeah, thanks guys. Do I have a DualShock 3? Yeah, I got DualShock 3s, man. Thank you, Garsh.
Just fooling with you last night?
So yeah, recap, review. It was great doing the run. MG3 was fun to commentate for. Silent 1 was a lot of fun to commentate for. Disappointing that drama has to happen, but I think it'll subside. Twitter is a really big thing with speedrunners and streamers. Communication about who's going to be on the couch is going to be really important going into the future. Learning about how it works in the back end of GDQ, the tech stuff, a little bit, was really interesting. Seeing how it's all set up, and getting into this sort of weird environment. I mean, it really is just kind of surreal, seeing all these people who in general are just like Windows. We're just Windows in a browser, or Windows on a phone, or whatever, or on a television. But remove the window and just being in front of each other, it's a different experience, right? Different experience. Yeah, if you want to learn about what I said about the drama, just go back like 30 minutes in this broadcast and you can hear me talk about it. I'm not going to go over it again, because frankly, I don't think it needs to become a shitstorm. But I wanted to acknowledge it. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't, to some degree there and experienced it. But I'm not going to, I have nothing to gain from trying to take sides in something that I think doesn't need to be a sides thing. That was GDQ on a base, not a hole. I don't know what you mean by that, Ecdysis. You hate Twitter. I really was not super interested in joining Twitter. but I might be. Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes, GDQ went really well, my run went really well. A lot of the people I met were super friendly. There was a little bit of drama, but it got resolved. Or the drama that was directly involved with me got resolved, and we squared it away. The other drama, I don't know how well that's going to get resolved, but I hope it does. Nothing too bad happened, but, you know, people get emotional, especially because communication wasn't as good as it needed to be. And you know what? I'm part of that too. I can struggle with communicating clearly to people, planning too much shit on the fly. It's one of my bad traits. I thought Horror Block went really well. It was cool learning a few new games, Snake's Revenge, Strider, Metal Gear 2, hanging out with some of the people who were practicing for games. Person who was running Cloud Built and watching the practice room, that was incredible. The person who was practicing for 3D World on Wii U, that guy was great. Playing games in the arcade was a lot of fun. Going out to eat with people. Good time, man. Yeah, I've been talking for over an hour, so. Yeah, it was really good, Ecdysis. Wasn't my best run, obviously, but it was really good. Hey, it's not a bad idea, man. Did Belle like it? I'm guessing Belle enjoyed it. Belle's a sweetheart. I had a calzone when I was in Virginia, though. At Mellow Mushroom. Yeah, the liquid fight was really scary. It was not scary in the same way as Harvey, where I nearly died. But it was scary that, like, I couldn't get it took me, like, 3 tries to get the infinite started. Yeah, man. I hope so, too. I hope so, too, Ecdysis. Cool to visit with you. I really hope Starwind's Homecoming gets in. Everyone deserves to be at a GDQ. So yeah, I've been talking a lot. I need to go get a drink. We're gonna do some Metal Gear Solid 2. I gotta de-rust some. We're gonna do some save preparation on Plant for the upcoming tournament. There's a Metal Gear Solid 2 HD Collection normal tournament coming up, and we're gonna be doing a little bit of de-rust, some practice save making, and that kind of stuff. So stick around. We're gonna hang out and do some of that. And people are interested in what's coming up for this channel. What may be coming up for this channel in 2018. Exclamation mark 2018 2018. And that is the kind of stuff we're gonna go for speedrun wise. Maybe some other stuff will come up, but those are the sort of things I was thinking about as I made that pace bin. What I think will be coming in the near future. Thanks, guys. Seriously, you know, I hope it looks like the channel's gonna continue to grow. We'll see. I have been really strong. When people were asking me at the event, like, well, you know, they're gonna get big or all this shit, and it's like, I don't want to think of it in those terms. You don't want to assume. Things can get taken away from you. Success is fleeting. So don't assume that you're just going to become big because of one thing you did. It's not about one thing, it's about every little thing that builds up to it. And the only reason why I got to perform on that stage is because of all the stuff I did before. So now about all the stuff after, right? Let's see how the second year in streaming will go, right?